Alright everyone, and welcome back with another video on the Moxforge. Today again with a very cool donation decklist by our greatest supporter Celestial Heathen. So thank you very much for this. This decklist might seems to be familiar to you, because I played one match with it on my Roguetober run, day 30. And this was a deck built by a player called Miguel. So yeah, it's just copied, and I try to learn the deck, try to get some repetitions in. So for this run, I don't make any adjustments, because I was pretty impressed in the matches I played in November and in October, and yeah, I just want to test it before making more adjustments. So basically, the key idea is to cheat unfair threats into play without relying on your graveyard. And you can do this mostly with the card Oath of Druids and Show and Tell. With the addition of Lotus Petal, we are able to do it on turn 1 or turn 2. We got a variety of threats like 2 of Phantom Nishoba, 1 of Akroma, Angel of Frost, a Bloodfire Colossus, which might be a bit hard to activate with 4 City of Brass and 4 Lotus Petal, and a Spirit of the Night, which is kind of a cuter version of Akroma, but at least in this build you don't have to pay 9 life if you want to reanimate it. And the really interesting part in this deck is that you got a lot of interaction and cantrips. I think this will play mostly like a show and tell, a sneak show version from the legacy deck, and you have the grasp to every free counter in the format. Like we can gush into foil or Daze. We even have some counter spells, and for unhandleable things like Warship we got a Boomerang. In the sideboard we got Gaea's Blessing number 2, which in my opinion should go into the main deck probably. We got some more threats like a Multani, a Phantom Nishoba, and some situational cards like Tormod's Crypt, Annul, Ray of Revelation, and the blue Elemental Blast. On top of that, it could be interesting to bring the Evincar after sideboarding to handle smaller creature decks, as we are almost completely into blue and green, and we have no access to things like Perish or Engineered Plague. Yeah, we don't play like this. And today is a very special day, because for 1 or 2 weeks now there is the ability to play PREMODERN in a friendly online league on Magic Online. The feedback is mixed there. Yeah, it's my first try with a league and with a cool deck here. So let's just dive into the matches. Again, thank you very much to Celestial Heathen, and thanks to Miguel. I don't know if you watch this channel, but to crafting this sweet deck list. And I'm pretty hyped about the matches. Alright everyone, we are on the play here. So let's see what we can get for first hand. This is really decent. It's a bit weak against Cabal Therapy, but I don't assume that my opponent leads blindly on a Cabal Therapy. Naming Oath of Druids, if we start with something like this, and I think Portent is nice to find a Daze maybe. This is for sure shuffle. So 3 mana sources and 1 Lotus Petal inside of this. This is not keepable, but drawing Show and Tell here is fine. Could have some advantage later. Yeah, Duress is okay. He will hit, I don't know, probably a Oath, but they are redundant. And the Gemstone Mine, it could be that it's a combo deck, but probably more like a 5-color something. So you need to be careful while clicking on City of Brass, because the trigger goes on stack immediately and you can't rewind like on other mana sources to generate another mana. Okay, Reflecting Pool, Gemstone Mine. It's an odd combination, I guess, so maybe some kind of brew. Counterspell is okay. I assume he will, they are redundant, but both great. Yeah, I assume he will search for the answer here first with survival, but survival in general means that he is on some creature plan. Could be a combo survival deck. I'm not too sure here if I want this to resolve, but why not? Like, every card is good, and putting a counterspell here, it means we are left with... I would be happy if he takes Oath or Show and Tell. Yeah, it's fine like this. So at some point we just draw a thread. And then we start going. Okay, naturally. Draw exactly what we lost. Yes, Blessing. So if we get rid of the survival, we can somehow use this to get rid of the squee and more shenanigans in his graveyard, but let's focus here, and I think I want to leave the Blessing in hand. It's a bit sad. Like, I considered playing a second Blessing in the main deck, but I have it in the sideboard. I think often in game 1 we are fast enough to just justify to have one reshuffle of creatures if we draw it like this. Okay. Yeah, we couldn't use the Gush mana there. There's a small argument for casting this with the mana of City of Brass to not run into something like Wasteland here. I'm not sure if we are favored in the late game. Like, his mana base looks so colorful, but then again, fragile. So, okay. He's going for the combo. Another show and tell, but not a threat here. So here we'll take the Portent us. Okay, we could get things going with Phantom Nishoba next turn. So I guess I keep this and probably do it like this, and that. To not get it discarded. He will find probably something like Mesmeric Fiend now to snipe away. But Mesmeric Fiend, on the other hand, would trigger our Oath. I'm not sure, maybe next turn I should slam the second Oath here. So Shapeshifter is scary, and I haven't played against this much. Because this was bugged for such a long time that I haven't seen it in action. So I might misplay here. So next turn we could do Show and Tell plus Counterspell, but I think this will be the turn where we will see action. Duress. Yeah, it's fine. Like, he goes for the Counterspell anyway, but I want to see how he is doing the combo. If it's just classic with the Devourer. This is probably the worst survival deck we want to play against. Because they can just kill in one combo turn. Really different. So now the Shapeshifter can't copy the Palinchron, but he can play Karmic Guide to reanimate Palinchron and then... Okay, the problem now is that... So I think we just need to find some amount of counters. So let's go here and then say something like Counterspell, and I think even Gush is decent. Okay, not redrawing here. So we might be in trouble if we just go for Show and Tell. I'm not sure. Maybe I just slam another Oath. It's not feeling great, but just don't forget that he can just put anything into play with a Show and Tell. Yeah, he's taking the Devour route. So this is a pretty quick kill, we will see. Okay, yeah, nice to see the deck. So we can still bluff a counter here. Okay, even playing Hermit Druid, so we don't have too much things against the deck. And it's a problem that he can just kill us in one turn. I'm not sure if he can kill us immediately. He should be able to. So next turn, if we have another turn, and I don't think we will have, he can just play Shapeshifter and then discard Devourer, let it grow, discard Trike. But let's see. I want to see the kill here. We are on F6, so okay, he's exiling everything. Then he can ping a lot of times. I want to get some more information. This is why I'm continuing here. I didn't know the version was Hermit, I guess. This is a tough matchup. So now he just discards the Triskelion and he can ping 26 damage. So at this point we have all the information we need and we can concede. So we need Annul for sure, and Tormod's Crypt is fine, I guess. This could work, the Evincar. So he's probably really scared about our Oath of Druids here. But it feels bad losing against the combo. I think I almost want every of these cards, and I'm not sure about show and tell, but it might be necessary to get anything into play. Maybe Oath of Druids is not the right thing to do. Boomerang might be the cut here. Not sure about Lotus Petal, as the game tends to go on for a bit. But then we have 19 land. And not sure about the Blessing. I don't want Spirit of the Night, probably. And even the Evincar seems to be a bit slow. Impulse is expensive. So I think I want to cut back like this. Maybe one Oath. I don't know, Oath could work. Like having the Oath against birds and mana dogs. Yeah, this is not looking great. I think this is a mulligan, as we don't have a creature as a payoff. This is fine-ish, I guess. The redundancy could hurt here. I want to keep this. We are kind of safe against something like a Duress, but a Cabal Therapy naming Counterspell would really hurt. It's good that we have a Portent, and I feel a bit stupid for cutting back on one Portent. Okay, this is interesting. Like, this is a keep for sure. And we put Portent, Oath, and Daze. And we don't want to shuffle. So we got a Daze ready. And we got something like Oath of Druids ready. If we are not forced to play Daze here. Okay, here's a bird. So I absolutely want to slam the Oath. It's funny that we got the Daze up, but I think he has probably mana source number 3 and then something like Naturalize. Wall of Roots, okay. I hope he's going for Naturalize now. Okay, Monk Realist. So now you see the power of the Oath and Show deck. Now we just have to flip into the right creature. So this is a bit RNG and a bit fun. This seems solid. Reshuffle is sweet. Double Counterspell as a backup. And another Oath trigger in the making. Makes me really happy. Adurus is fine, because I have another Counterspell. And I'm not sure, I mean, he can kill in one turn, but for now it feels comfortable. Okay, Survival is probably a must counter threat here, because this is the key to doing the combo. It wouldn't feel bad to go into something like the Colossus, but I can't sacrifice the Colossus, so I don't wish for it. Okay, he's not even in the mood to see more. So the Evincar is not feeling great. I would prefer probably another massive damage creature. Probably Portent is better than Sleight of Hand. Bloodfire Colossus, I don't know. We need the City of Brass if we're cutting back on the petals. Maybe on the draw, I want the petals. Not too sure. Daze is probably not good enough here, as he's playing so many mana dogs. And I think this is the adjusted sideboarding. Yeah, let's do it like this. I'm sure there would be probably a better way to sideboard this. This is turn 1 Oath, and even if he picks away some of my elements, I still have turn 1 Annul, turn 2 Annul. So here I guess I start with a Portent, another Annul, another Portent. I'm not sure. Annul seems to be strong. Yeah, probably it's a keep. Like, play it like this, because we have another Portent. And I want to cast 1 Lotus Petal here. I want to see at least 1 creature on his side, or on our side something like Counterspell, before I slam the Oath, because it's our only payoff card now. Okay, this is something. So here I'm digging for a Counterspell, something like this. Another Oath is so sweet. We are a bit locked there. So let's see. I think we have to do it like keep it and put the Oath on top. This exposes us to a Naturalize effect and something like Monk Realist. But I really... So if we have an activation from Oath, I want to draw it before it get milled. And it's sweet to have a Null up. Yeah, he needs everything now. Like, I hope his game plan is to just play his own broken enchantment and we win like this. Yeah, seeing something like survival here would make my day, because we can just... So Carbide Therapy would be the strongest card from his side, because he can get rid of the creature too. I guess Carbide Therapy would name Counterspell. Interesting game, and nice to see for English Breakfast. Okay, this is a Monk Realist probably, or he wants to scare us. Another Wall of Roots. He added the white mana to scare us. I'm safe here. Naturalize. Okay, we got 1 more. But we got 2 dead draws now. This might hurt. So he needs an answer for this, but he has no pressure on his own. But we still draw 1 more land from top. So I hope this was the only effect. Mesmeric Fiend. Oh, this is bad for us. Like, if he has a follow-up, now he has perfect information. Yeah, probably has a follow-up Naturalize, I guess. Or Monk Realist. Let's see. Hermit Druid. Okay, this is not great news for us. The good thing is that we don't draw the land on top, and maybe we flip into something cool. Akroma is probably not enough here, so we need some more. This is some more probably. Okay, this is a shuffle for sure. Let's play the city, as we can pay for as we can pay for the foil as a hard cast anyway. Okay, so now we are open for everything. But I don't know. Is it possible that he kills us here? I mean, it's not the classical reanimate deck, I guess. Maybe he's morphing into this, but... So this should flip the... if we don't get control back here, we die next turn for sure. Yes, this is great. Like, this is lethal now. And we attack here for 6. We got the red mana available. I think we will shuffle back some stuff. Let's get something like Tormod's Crypt, Gush, and Impulse. Naturalize, okay, let's wait here. Like, I would like to see a kill with a Bloodfire Colossus. Here is the activation. And now I will just try to finish the game with the Inferno. All right. This should be game, yeah. All right, everyone, welcome back. Lucky us being again on the play with a turn 1 Oath. And turn 1 Oath is good against 90% of the field, I guess. And the follow-up of cantrips is cool, so let's see. Maybe we get a immediately concession if he sees our Oath of Druids, but let's see. There are arguments that it would even be better to be on the draw here. It's more weak against discard, which we will see here. But he probably names Counterspell, I guess. I think he will never go. Okay, careful study. So he's assuming that we are on something like Reanimator. Portent here to hide something. Foil, Impulse. City of Brass is not the point where I want to be right now. So I do a shuffle here. And I fire up the next Portent. Daze is probably not bad. And having more cantrips seems to be sweet. So if he plays something like Raven's Rats, I will counter it, I guess. Or maybe I will just discard the Impulse. I don't know. Yeah, I think we will see Raven's Rats here. Okay, nothing. Nothing is not much. Another Portent is sweet. Okay, this is something, but as we are not having show and tell yet, I'm not sure. We could take one creature here, but it's not feeling great. I think a shuffle effect is slightly better here. And then I will ship the turn back in case we draw Counterspell. Lotus Petal is not great, but not a dead draw either. And having the Impulse ready is sweet. Maybe I needed to keep a creature there, but it's so weak against a discard. I want to see if he's on mono black how he handles the Oath. He can play around it for some time, but at some point it's... Okay, this is the answer. So let's go for the impulse here. Another Oath, a show and tell. Show and tell is fine. So let's see if we can find a creature. Another Oath. Let's play the Sleight of Hand. Island is fine, I guess. And I guess I can cast the Lotus Petal here. We are still searching for a payoff creature. This is fine. I mean, he has a clock there, but he needs some way. Okay. Foil is a sweet hard counter, and as a backup, we can return an island with Daze. Duress, I don't know. Duress seems not to be fine. I will cast foil here as a hard cast. Don't want to show him the show and tell yet. If he attacks here, he probably has no follow-up spell, but this can go the whole way. I need to find Impulse is sweet. Give me a creature, please. Okay, Spirit of the Night. He might have an Edict effect, we will see. But first Edict effect would for sure get a Daze. And we got double Daze back up. And here you see the strength of the deck. Like if they don't want to interact with our Oath. Okay, this is protection from black. So I attack here for sure. He can get rid of one Daze. I think we are faster. Akroma would have been way better in this spot. So maybe there should be another Akroma. Another Spectre is probably no Cabal Therapy. What? He's trying to raise us here? Let's attack with the Spirit of the Night. Maybe the attack was wrong, I don't know. But I feel like I should slam this City of Brass here. So if we flip into Inferno creature, we can... I don't know, maybe we lost here. But he just attacks for 4. Pay 1 more. He might have double Edict effect, but then he wouldn't need the Duress. Okay. So this was a reason why I was thinking about bringing 3 Compost to the sideboard, but I don't think it's necessary. Not too sure about the Lotus Petal, but it's a bad top deck, but giving us ability to get our cards out quicker. Daze is not great here. So I think this is my submission. I absolutely don't want the Evincar. Now this worked pretty well. Like crafting the show and tell hand there. I think it's fine. Like if we get another source and he might be forced to go for the Lotus Petal here. Would be so sweet to draw another Lotus Petal. So here I will lead with this one. Playing Portent on us. So we got the ability to foil. Man, having Oath of Druids on top is absolutely a reason to keep this. So let's go foil Oath, Portent, no shuffle for sure. I think it is important to slam the Lotus Petal here. Sure, it would be great to have another island, to have the backup here. Duress, no response on this. Like, our plan is to slam the O's and then... I mean, we have no... Maybe we need to keep the island around. He's going for the foil. So he has a Kabat Therapy lined up, I guess. Or some kind of edict effect. I don't know. It feels slightly better to go for... I don't know. Do we go for the O's? I mean, why wouldn't he... He probably has something like Dystopia. So let's go with the O's here. And it's a bit tough to crack this for Portent, but I don't want to draw foil without having an island. This seems to be fine, I guess. So let's keep it. Petal, foil, island. One could be a bit too all in, but we have the ability to shuffle with the blessing, so we are not forced to draw the petal from top. So now we got a sub game here. If he has something like what it's called, Dystopia, we have a foil for this. Yeah, here's a Dystopia. So I could counter now, but then I don't have the ability to play show and tell, which is probably fine. They don't run too many of these Dystopias. So we have a nice sub game here again. If he can play around Oath of Druids. So Lotus Petal. Any mana source will now bring Akroma into play. So through his play pattern here, he sent us the message that he is having Dystopia. I guess this is not great. So probably a shuffle. Sure, land number 3 would be fine, but not 3 in a row. Like, this would have been land number 3 with double time walk. Blessing is okay-ish. All right, let's go for it. He would have slammed something like Dystopia for sure. We might see a funny effect, maybe edict effect, but it's okay. Like, this is what our deck does. So if he gets rid of our blessing here and we see the edict effect, we have no way to reshuffle, but it's not a problem. Like, our deck is still stacked with creatures. If he is not getting rid of this immediately, and even with a Dystopia, we will see at least one trigger here. Yeah, let's flip into something cool. This is something cool. We got 30 cards left in hand. Drawing the Nishoba here is really, really bad, because we don't have the reshuffle effect. He might win this if he has more removal coming. I'm happy that I brought another, I guess, blessing from the sideboard. Ah, this is funny. Wow. What a great addition. Okay, let's just flip this to the right. This has even protection black. We take for 13, bringing even, man, seeing the Royal Assistant is making me so happy. And I guess now we are in a sweet position. I mean, he could still have Edict effect here. Royal Assassin, man. This made my day. Alright. GG. Alright, everyone. We are on the draw here with a not super strong but decent hand. It might be tear apart by some amount of discard. Okay, we got some burn here, which is maybe a fine matchup regarding how fast we can get the O's online. We are still missing a combo piece, and I hope to find something soon. And then we got a lot of backup. I don't think I am in for countering anything here with a Daze, because we really need to set up our mana and reach 3 mana. This is fine. It's funny that the Jackal Pups could lead to a situation where, okay, this is sweet, could lead to a situation where we can kill with the Inferno Colossus, like shoot 6 damage and he's taking 18. We might be too slow here to finish the game, but we will see. So Sulfuric Vortex would be a problem, probably forcing me to foil. Okay, we got the Impulse and we got Akroma. So the question is, do we play Akroma first? Or Phantom Nishoba? I think we take... I don't know. Do we need to take Counterspell here? Akroma would be slightly better. I feel like taking Akroma here. So at this point I will hit anything with a Daze. So Show and Tell should probably... So the Akroma is a good blocker, but I really want one life swing here. I feel forced to play Akroma. I don't know. If he has Sulfuric Vortex, this will be a real pain. So gut feeling says go by the Akroma. If he has the Sulfuric Vortex, this is a 3-turn clock and he can't even attack with a Jackal Pup. Okay, just the Curse Scroll. I mean, it's a strong card. So Phantom Nishoba. We are at 13 and we got like 2 counterspells here. Is he going in the blind? Probably. It's better than not using the mana. So it's time for Ugly Lock probably if he's not hitting. Okay, he didn't hit, so let's take a look in the game log. He reveals Incinerate and he set Barbarian Ring. Okay, this is far away from having any impact. Right. Can we afford casting Sleight of Hand here? I guess. Otherwise we could do a hard cast foil, which is probably not necessary. I think at this point in the game I would be in to counter any burn spell from his side. Okay, here the funny part is that if we cast Daze and he's paying for it, he can't shoot 2 damage, but he can activate the Grim Lavamancer. I'm unsure if we still should foil this, I guess. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If he activates this, he's dead next turn. I feel like it's fine too. So if we do this, we can't slam the Nishoba. So let this resolve. Maybe this is an error, but I need to see first what I see with the Sleight of Hand. Here's a Colossus, exactly what I meant, but we are lacking red mana. Otherwise, we could win from here. Maybe it's... He hasn't seen our Oath yet, so I think Bloodfire Colossus is fine. Let's take the opportunity. Slamming the island was an error. Probably will cost us the game. Like, I needed to play the Yavimaya Coast to have the foil up. Yeah, this will probably cost us the game. But let's see. It is what it is. Don't be too harsh on yourself if you are playing fantasy games in the middle of the night. It's, at the end of the day, still about the fun. And this is even giving him one opportunity to finish the game. And maybe we are still rewarded by misplaying a bit. If he draws something like... I don't know, are we dead? So if he draws exactly Fire Blast, we are dead. So this would feel bad, but otherwise he could shoot 3 now. We go to 7. And then in his turn 4. So we go to 3. If he draws a lightning bolt, we are dead. Yeah, for sure, this should have been. Yeah, he plays to his outs, which is perfectly fine. And if we lose like this, it is what it is. We still got 2 more games. Alright, yeah. We were very lucky there. So, we do want more Phantom Nishoba. Even the Evincar seems kind of tempting. The Blast seems to be fine. I'm not too sure about the Oath of Druids, because they can play around it pretty well. Bloodfire Colossus is maybe not the right thing to do here. This can be awkward, right? Yeah, this is even... He can just play Burn Spell on this. So... yeah. Go fast. Not too sure about the Ray of Revelation and the Boomerang. Even Blessing might be a stretch. Yeah, it's probably not about the Ray of Revelation. There's an argument to play Annul. The downside is that if we play Show and Tell, he can just put it into play, so. But this far the deck is really delivering. I'm not sure here. I don't think this is a keep. This is not a keep either. No lands, so no keep. This is a forced keep. We need to put 3 cards away, which is probably a Lotus Petal, a City of Brass, and Counterspell number 2. So we need to find a Oath quickly. So Gush could be fine to recover, but having this kind of mulligan feels bad. I'm tempted to keep this just to smooth out my draw a bit more. But I'm not sure if it's good. Like, we got the Impulse, which is getting us around 3 new cards. We still need a Oath, and even, I mean, we will see some Red Blasts, and yeah, if my opponent sees the Oath, he sees the writing on the wall, and he can just get rid of his creatures pretty well. Okay, let's play the island here. I don't think I'm allowed to counter anything here. Because the problem is I need to cast Impulse to get rid of the land on the top of my library. I mean, we have the ability to recover here. Especially with the Gush. But I think we need to craft some counter magic together with show and tell. And a good creature, but this will be tough. Because we are asking for so much on a Mulligan 4. For Mulligan 4, it's decent what we are doing here, but we are not the aggressor. So let's see how far the Impulse will get. So he's considering to Red Blast it, which is probably fine. But I don't think you can afford it. You need the blast. Or maybe he just wants to burn some stuff here, which is fine too. So this would be fine, I guess. The problem still is that he can just put 2 burn spells on this. So I guess Daze is slightly better, even if it's dead in a lot of situations. Let's cast a Lotus Petal here. And Yavimaya Coast. This is fine. Like, I don't want to fight about this if there are stuff like Sulfuric Vortex and more. I guess next turn I will slam a Gush in my main phase. Jackal Pup. I mean, it's bringing in the damage, but I'm pretty confident that I can find some O's here. So double Gush is not possible. I mean, we could hardcast the second one with our land drop here. Do we see a Red Blast? And if so, do we want to fight about the Gush? I don't think so. No. He can't blast here unless he has 2 Red Blasts. Otherwise, if we got a show and tell follow-up, he just is in a bad condition. Here's a Pyroblast. I don't want to fight about this, I guess. So we could hardcast Gush, but then he could have a really bad swing ready for us. We still got Counterspell Daze and a Gush for the next turn, leaving us with almost the same opportunities. So let's see. Pretty aggressive. But this is probably means he has another blast ready. Seal of Fire is fine. Like, so let's get the island down. Let's attempt to Gush again. If he has another Red Blast, I might fight for this. Okay, this is some really bad draws. So let's see if we can get anything here. I mean, it's a counterspell, but on the other hand, we have at least 2 dead draws then. So I don't think we can afford this. So we need threat plus show and tell. 5, 6 damage. We are probably dead. Okay, another portent is not fast enough. Again, just imagine the Spirit of the Night would have been something like Akroma. So a 6/6 with haste and trample, protection, red would be so different, and vigilance would be so different from a 6/5 you need to tap. This is enough for me to counter. We even take 1 damage here. It feels kind of bad. Yeah, we are super far behind, and I don't think there are many ways to recover here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Any burn spell will do it. And we have another portent here. All right. Let's concede this to not show any more. How about Multani? Maybe we need to hire just the threat density. Feels like a bit too much play around. Maybe I can cut back on the O's here, but I'm not sure. I mean, O's is impressive for sure, but they can play so well around it. This is not great, so another mulligan. This is way better. Tempted to ship the city here, but this could be an error. So probably just the Gush for now. And then let's start with a Portent. Hopefully find a Oath of Druids to start a sub game here. Maybe I would be more... Oath would be fine, I guess. But I might be more happy with... this is a shuffle. So we need... Maybe I just needed to keep the Gush and ship the Counterspell to have the ability to draw enough cards to put something with show and tell into play. Okay, this is not what I want to see here, because it would be better to have a creature which can't be sacked, so he needs at least to do a 2/4/1 on his side. So if nothing happens here, is the Grim Lavamancer enough to me to counter? Maybe. Maybe I should counter here. Like, I'm not sure what the Impulse could find. And the Grim Lavamancer can easily make 5 to 7 damage. Would be fun if he goes for Pyroblast to get rid of this, so our Daze can work. Yeah, given the time he needs to think there, that's for sure a Red Elemental Blast or Pyroblast. I guess at this point I would counter any spell with Daze to just make Daze do his job. So here are the O's. Or Gush. I think having the O's here is absolutely fine. It's putting me into another direction. Like, I need to find Show and Tell plus Threat soon. He can just sacrifice this away. So the good thing is he might be a bit clunky with creatures in hand. And then he can't activate Curse Scroll, something like this. So any spell he is attempting to make here will be countered by me. Just to ensure that Daze is live. Having an island in hand is not the worst thing. Pretty grindy against burn. Something like Sulfuric Vortex would be brutal. I guess he needs to sacrifice a Mock Fanatic now. Otherwise, but I think the Oath checks twice. Another time on Revolution. So he's deep in the Sink Tank. Okay, here's a Vortex having exactly the best card against us. So we need to find a Red Blast. I mean, are we in need to play Impulse here? I don't think so. So here's 3 cards in hand. If we get any spell in, so any damage in. So let's see what Impulse can get us. So here's a Show and Tell and a foil. I go for Show and Tell and hope to draw Akroma. He might have... Yeah, we didn't see the Red Blast yet. So we might need to wait. But I don't think we can wait here. So here's the blue Elemental Blast. This means to me I can wait one more turn probably. But it's a horrible place to be in. Like, we go to 11. I hope he's using his Red Blast now. So we can get rid of the Vortex. Attempting to Red Blast, we go for Counterspell, and then we can resolve our Show and Tell into Nishoba. He has a 1 blind flip with the O's. He might have Double Blast, which would be strong. But on the other hand, we would have a 7/7 creature with trample. Not gaining us life for sure, but adding some pressure to the board. We go to 10. Ah, okay, he had another blast. This was a bit fast. So now it's getting interesting. I will play the island here. I think we are in a bad condition, probably dead here. Especially if he has something to Oath into. And I guess he wants to activate Oath. Yeah, double Pyroblast was the thing we are losing against. And now he has something like Fire Blast, Incinerate. Let's see. We could find one more blast for sure. But we are close to death here. So him dropping nothing into the Oath probably, into the Show and Tell probably means that he has another damage spell. Sulfuric Vortex would be lethal immediately, and now we can't even attack. We need to find the second blast here. This is not the blast. So if we attack here, he goes to 5. I don't know. We need to hope he's not having any damage spell. And then he is probably surviving on 1 life. I guess he has maybe creatures stuck in hand. Yeah. So if we morph into something like Akroma now, otherwise I think we can make a draw here. What is he having? Another Incinerate. This is sad. Like, what would we flipped another Nishoba? Okay, this wouldn't be enough. Yeah, close one. All right, everyone. We are on the draw here with a decent hand. Like, even discard would be fine. We have the ability to counter stuff. And, okay, blue-white is not exactly what we want to see, I guess. Let's just go like this. If he goes for something like standstill, I guess I will Daze. Meddling Mage. This could be fine, but on the other side, at this point, a 2/2 creature we can't handle is maybe a bit too much. Okay, having the O's here is sweet. Like, this will for sure generate a whole sub game. And yeah, we got the foil ready. So please keep an eye on me that I'm not dropping the island again. Mishra's Factory is annoying, for sure. Okay, the Gush is a good draw, so we can take the alternative route with Show and Tell. Wasteland is strong. Let's float 1 mana here. So this is probably some kind of blue-white weenie deck, like blue-white flippy. Sleight of Hand is fine. Yeah, having the Manland available immediately after us playing Oath is a bit painful, but... So let's start with Sleight of Hand. Another Daze is probably fine. Not amazing stuff here, but it can enable us to foil and Daze. Now maybe we can get Show and Tell online next turn, and then... I mean, manlands are a huge problem for us, so maybe this deck in the long run should run some amount of Zabuz Web. I think this would be fine. Probably amount of 3 in the main deck and sideboard. Okay, so here we got... let's just try to play Show and Tell. I mean, the Nishoba for sure will get a sword. But the cool stuff is that we got this covered. Whipcorder is ugly. This is just the answer for the Phantom. I mean, the good stuff is that it kind of stops the bleeding by the Mishra's Factory. And we have 1 mana on his side bound. Another Show and Tell. So let's attack first. Bind 1 mana here. I mean, if he starts tapping this, he can still bring in damage with the Factory. So Gush first. Another Show and Tell is not doing much here. Yeah, this deck plays pretty well against ours. He's not attacking, so probably having something like Effect of Fiction ready. We need another payoff spell. Yeah, Whipcorder is strong against us. We have like no safe creature from that. This just stops our whole deck. Standstill. Feels like a must counter threat for me. Okay, he's crashing in with a Factory, which is fine, I guess. This is not what we want to see. Putting Whipcorder into my Show and Tell. But we need to find just another creature. Impulse is fine to start. Yeah, let's take another Impulse, I guess. Slam this. Flips a turn back. We still got some amount of counter backup, but he has 6 cards in hand. Most of them probably creatures. Even another Whipcorder would be enough to give us a headache. So let's go for Impulse. Yeah, let's take the Spirit of the Night for sure. Let's try to protect it with everything we have. This is fine. Another foil, but not another island. So let's go with Show and Tell. The fine stuff is that we can hardcast the foil later in the game, so it's not completely dead here. So let's go with the Spirit. He probably has a sword ready. But I would attempt to... I mean, if he has a sword here, I think it's fine, because we have an Oath trigger. But let's attack for 6 here. Maybe we can somehow find back to the game. And on the downside for him, doing stuff like Sword to Plowshares really hurts here. So if he starts to play swords, we just can trigger the Oath again. So he suddenly came into a very inconvenient game state. I feel like most of the creatures in his hand are probably cards in his hand are probably creatures. This is a morph creature. It might be a Whipcorder, but as we got the flip here, I'm in for this. Even an Exalted Angel would not be a huge problem. I mean, he can tap Nishoba for sure. But let's see what we are morph into. I'm not sure. I guess I need to save my foils here. Now we got 2 to 3 counterspells ready. This is fine. Can we play this, I guess, to play around Daze? And then Island and Show and Tell is our pitch. So let's see what he will tap here. Okay, this is no response. If I attack with this, and he has the Angel, but otherwise he just blocks here. So if he taps this, this will connect. This has Trample. This is not having Trample, so he can go like tap and give protection red. Hope to find City of Brass or Lotus Petal. Or any cantrips to help here. This is the Angel. It's fine. Like, it's a problem sooner or later. But he goes to 9. Yeah, this might just win, but at some point I think we can... I mean, he just needs to tap this. I'm not sure here. Yeah, Exalted Angel is strong in this spot. This is really, really good. Like, slam this immediately. This could at least do something like... So I attack here. I'm not even sure how it will behave if I end the game in a draw. I don't know. So, and he attacks for lethal here. So I think let's try to end the game here as a draw. It's better than to lose. Okay, I'm not sure who's allowed to begin, but we're allowed to sideboard. This is so funny. Like, the Evincar should be fine. Maro could do some work. Phantom Nishoba was a bit awkward. I'm not sure if I'm on the draw, on the play, or if it's determined again random. Blessing. So I think we can cut the Daze, right? I'm not sure. Spirit of the Night was a bit awkward, but it's some damage source. Let's play with 61. I'm not sure if I'm on the draw or on the play here. Yeah, this was interesting. Maybe some red splash could work for the deck in the sideboard. It's a bit awkward because we do want to have... okay, I am on the play. So hopefully a turn 1. Ah, this is sweet. Let's find the O's here quickly and then. So let's start with Portent. Please show me O's. Multani it's sweet. So let's keep this. Let's put show and tell, Multani, Portent, no shuffle for sure. Then we can play turn 3, show and tell with a counter backup. And Multani could really do a lot in this matchup. So let's Portent us. If we are happy with what we see. I mean, I want the show and tell for sure. So probably Blessing, Counterspell, show and tell, no shuffle. And I continue here. So dropping the island was not great, because I need a pitch for foil, so I'm forced to Gush now. Everything here is fine. Mother of Runes, probably not too fine, so I think I will force him to shuffle. Because the Mother could just block Multani and then give protection. Okay, show and tell, Counterspell. Yeah, Mother of Runes could be awkward. So the question is, do I want to Gush here first? To see if I can get anything better to put into play than the Multani? Going for Mana Leak? I guess this is fine. Let's see what he's slamming. Exalted Angel would be strong. Mother of Runes would be strong. Meddling Mage is not so strong. So this will really crash in now. Feels good. Turn 3. Such a strong creature. He can go for our land, but he's setting himself back by that. And I don't know what his out is to this situation. I hope to find another island soon. Something like this. Another foil. So we got 2 counterspells here. This probably means that I will just keep this until I draw another island or another mana source. Like pitching something inside here really hurts because you're kind of forced to discard 3 cards. And I want this to be a 2-hit, the end of the game. Here's a Oath. I think it's just fine to continue like this. Okay, he took 12 there. Yeah, it's so great to bring Simultani in. Now he's forced to block. Lotus Petal is not the worst. But as we are having 2 free counters anyway, Don't forget this is like game 1 here, as the first one was a draw. Okay. Sweet move. I play the petal here, so I still have double pitch, counterspell, and he's still forced to block. Okay, Boomerang is kind of sweet, but we can't seal the deal here, because this would be a 10 toughness creature then if we play land, and Boomerang maybe have to fight even for. So now I'm allowed to play 1 island, still got 7 cards in hand, and I still can play 1 counterspell and pitch 1 foil. Okay, here we could attempt to bounce the Fairy Conclave, but then again, if he has some interaction to this, it's too small to kill. Okay, attack here with the Multani. Maybe he has some kind of impulse, or let's cast another Lotus Petal, because I want to have the pitch for the foil. At some point, he's running out of creatures or manlands. This is fine. I don't care about Sea of Cleansing here. So here's an argument for playing Boomerang, and I think it's fine. So we deactivate Adaka Waste. I mean, it's still 11, because this is bounced. Maybe I didn't see the line before. Like, even if Boomerang is 1 card less in hand, it's 1 card more for your opponent. Okay, this went pretty well. I don't think I need to adjust too much. I'm not sure. Maybe I need some days for resolving meddling mages. Boomerang is out to this situation. Is Lotus Petal even fine? I don't know. But I somehow want to register it like this again. So we are leading with 1 game here. This is the worst hand I've ever seen with a deck. Like 4 creatures, no payoff. This is probably keepable, shipping a blessing here. Trying to do a small board wipe with the Evincar. Yeah, it depends what we will do here. Okay, foil is sweet, but I guess impulse is necessary as we are not having the pitch for foil anyway. Okay, this is strong. I mean, it's not the worst if... Okay, this is bad news for us. So we need to find another island, I guess. Sleight of Hand. Another Sleight of Hand. And here I think I take Portent, because he can just... I don't know why he wasted it there. He could just activate Wasteland, hold priority, and then 2 to 4 land. But maybe the person... I think he's pretty well known in Pre-Modern. Okay, he wants the Meddling Mage probably on Show and Tell. So in general, we are capable to hardcast our threats. Okay, on Oath. So we need to find... I don't know. I hope he's playing some more threats and is not having another Meddling Mage or Counterspell. The Evincar is not looking great. Standstill. Let's play the Impulse in response. Akroma, Blessing, Show and Tell. It's tempting to take another Show and Tell, I guess. Yeah, let's take another Show and Tell here. And the problem is that we need to pop the Standstill and he can put some broken stuff. But we will lead with the Evincar for sure. Another island would be sweet. Another Show and Tell. Okay, we need to find more mana for sure. I think here it's kind of right to go for probably the Evincar, but I mean, it can backfire in so many cases. So Evincar would just clean this up. But it would make place for... I don't know. So this is offline anyway. But I hope he's dropping another 1 toughness creature here. And he's... Okay, he's dropping a Flooded Strand. Yeah, I hope the first sword will hit here and we can somehow stabilize with 1 Nishoba then. It's tough. First sword here. No sword. Okay. So suddenly we got the... this is interesting. So let's start with the Gush here. I have the feeling it's again Show and Tell time. If he has a Counterspell, at least he can't cast something like Fact or Fiction. Here I attack. What is he having in hand? A board wipe maybe? So now we need to set up something. So let's attack here first to not run into something like wing charts. First sword, no, factory number 1. Okay, he must be flooded out like hell. So, first Portent. This is the interesting part here. I will Portent him, and then I can trick him into activate Flooded Strand. This is okay. Like, I will put this on the bottom, this next, this on top. No shuffle effect. So we will go for the Flooded Strand. And then I think I try to find a foil here on our side. Here's a foil and a Counterspell. So I think we got the deal sealed with this. No shuffle for sure. And we are doing some really unfair things here. Okay, he did not go for the shuffle. This will die immediately through the Evincar. We got double Counterspell back up. And we could play another Phantom Nishoba. But let's just try to end this here. Alright, sweet match. Alright everyone, we are on the draw with a not great hand, but I think it's keepable. I probably want to lead on something like Island into Lotus Petal. I think most opponents would assume that we are on some Iggy Pop. So let's try to make an advantage out of giving away the information with the Lotus Petal. Plus, I don't want to lose them blindly to a Cabal Therapy. Goblin Lackey. Okay, this I might be forced to. Let's see what we got here. Like if I draw Oath or Daze. Here's the Oath. Even a foil would be possible, but let's try Oath. Hope he's not having a Naturalize follow-up. They have most time a 3 of Naturalize. Even a foil would be good. Okay, Show and Tell is not exactly what we want to do here. But, I mean, we could recover with it. So let's try to stabilize with the Oath, which is almost every time a good card. He needs green mana source and Naturalize immediately, but they often have it. I mean, this is exactly the reason why goblins just splash green for Maindeck Naturalizes. I don't know. Maybe he's forced to put something into play to kill the Lackey. I don't know. They still can outrace us very easily with 1 or 2 pie drivers. So I hope to find something like Akroma. Okay, Goblin Goon build. Really like it. Okay. So we get 1 activation here. Hope to not flip into the Colossus, would be a bit awkward. Nishoba is a good starting point for sure. Another Oath. So I could play Show and Tell to slam the second Oath, and I think it's good to do it. I mean, it could snowball from this point if he has something like... I mean, he can put Goblin Goon into play. But as Phantom Nishoba is so good at preventing damage, maybe Siege Gang Commander, and then he sacrifices away the Goblin we had. I don't know. This was probably a bit stupid from my side. But on the other hand, we are here for the bit stupid stuff. He probably leaves this as a blocker home. I mean, it still tramples, so the shenanigans just work on attack. I can still get some life points back. And I feel like Goblin Lackey needs to be blocked. Goblins is pretty good at shrinking down these creatures, and we need to find another green source, because we just have 1 Gaea's Blessing in the main deck. Just attacking with this would be an odd sign. Don't forget, even a Gempire Incinerator will... Okay, this is unblockable, I understand. Even a Gempire Incinerator will just remove 1 counter from the Cat's Beast Spirit here. But this matchup is tough. Okay, Goblin Goon. So I need to attack. And we get 2 more creatures, so it's not feeling completely off what we did there. It's odd that he was not attacking with everything he's having. I think the Evincar is just in the sideboard, right? Yeah. Maybe he's considering to activate the Mock Fanatic. Another Nishoba is sweet. And hopefully Akroma. Perfect. This is some amount of damage. Another Show and Tell is not adding anything to the board here. And we need the life swing, so we attack for sure. Akroma being a pretty good blocker against red decks. So what else do we have in the main deck? We don't want to empty our whole deck, so we need to consider this. Let's take a look here at the deck list to just be sure. So we can flip into a Bloodfire Colossus and the Spirit of the Night. Okay, he's pinging the wrong Nishoba, which is a bit odd. We are at 25. Don't forget that the Nishoba triggers are delayed, so we won't get them if he kills us in one swing. So next turn he needs to block a lot of damage, and I think I'm willing to flip at least one Oath. I mean, we have 14 cards in hand. This is not doing much. He can remove one counter here. So the bad part is if one of the creatures is the lowest in the deck. But we got a 50-50 chance to flip into the, what is called Spirit of the Night. So it's tempting. Attacking with everything, not having mana up to sacrifice here. This means for me, I need to block absolutely both lackeys. We are not facing any lethal damage here, 9, 11. We get 5 on the backswing, but I'm scared of what will come from the lackeys. So at this point, I don't even think I need to flip into Oath. He has 2 damage. He needs to, yeah. This was a tough one. Let's bring the Evincar, the Nishoba, Blue Blast and Stifle, and another Blessing. Not a fan of Daze here, to be honest. Boomerang is a stretch. 3 more cards to cut. I don't know if we can afford stuff like Foil, but we need some free counters left, right? Not too sure about Stifle either. It could save us one turn from the lackey, but it might be too cute, as we want to make a completely different game plan. Bloodfire Colossus is probably not something I can afford. Not too sure about the Spirit of the Night. Let's get back one of these. Yeah, feels like a tough matchup, but we can do it. Evincar is not super great because it's just -1/-1, but it has some room here, and it's probably the necessary evil. So we might face a lot of stuff like, I mean, this is a sweet hand. Even if he's leading on Goblin Lackey again, which he does, I hope to find a Blue Blast. Here it is. So lucky. Let's destroy it here, and let's see. Like, we go for Oath, and then we can take a look if he has something like answer for this. We can follow up with Show and Tell. Impulse is not too bad. It has no spot yet, but he needs to find the answer for the Oath now. Having a second lackey is a problem, because if he has a Naturalize effect now, he can just add power to the board, We are forced next turn to Gush into a threat probably. Wasteland would even be strong. But he's having not another mana source here. So any threat we will flip into is great. Hope to see no ringleader here, as it can emerge into a card advantage game here. Okay, another War Chief. So he can really set up a big hit. Nishoba is sweet find. Okay, let's play this and then let's attempt to Gush. We got a Lotus Petal and an Impulse, so let's continue here. Another Oath. I don't know if it's enough. So we can't drop a land, but I think it's necessary to play the second Oath. Like, he can kill us in one turn, but it's more common that he's just finding an answer. Playing the second Oath for sure is bad if he is having the Tranquil Domain. So let's see. It feels good at this point, but goblins can really escalate, especially with having 2 mana reducers ready. Yeah, Piledriver number 1. Piledriver number 2. Heat Charm into lethal. Heath Charm, what's the name? Okay. Oath is just doing Oath things here. Sleight of Hand. We could try to find another Red Blast. Maybe it's good to do it. Counterspell, Lotus Petal. I think here I prefer the Lotus Petal, as I don't know how many turns I will have left. And I think it's necessary to gain back 7 life here. Regarding on what he's putting onto the stack, I need to think about playing Impulse in response to find foil. But this just might be enough. And it's so cool, even if he would have some interaction with the Oath, we could have played just Show and Tell into a threat sooner or later. It's still dangerous for sure, but... Okay. As we are having some stuff in the graveyard, in the main deck to reshuffle, we can go here. All right. All right, everyone, we are back after 5 amazing rounds, and man, what a run. The league was pretty stacked. We drew so good in many places, but the deck was strong like hell. Like, it feels so good to attack on the different angles with the Oath of Druids, with the show and tell. And this were really some fun matches. And if you consider that we almost beat the Sly game, it could have been a 5-0, which is pretty impressive for a rogue deck like this. And yeah, it was fun to play, and I would make some adjustments if I play this again. And I think even if stuff like Bloodfire Colossus and Spirit of the Night is playful, we need to stock up on the bigger threats. And it feels weird to just play 2 foil, but it worked pretty well, and even just 3 Gush. I think I would be here to add another Akroma, add another Phantom Nishoba, cutting back on Bloodfire Colossus and Spirit of the Night, even if we won game or could make a game a draw with it. I for sure want another Gaea's Blessing in the main deck. And I think we could easily add another Multani Maro to the sideboard. I'm not too sure about the Ray of Revelation. I understand the idea of milling something with Oath and then with a reshuffle trigger on stack, or just from a graveyard play it again. The sideboard feels like it can be adjusted. Stifle is not impressive, I guess. So I'm thinking of, I don't know, maybe this deck could even play something like Worldly Tutor, but this could be probably not good enough. And we're not impressed by the impulse, so maybe cut back on the impulse, max out a bit on Gush, add another foil, and probably I understand the need for Boomerang, but I think if we go more aggressive here with the creatures, it might just work. Maybe cut 2 more impulse. I know it's pretty aggressive, but I'm impressed by the 1 mana cantrips, and play like this. The sideboard needs some adjustment too, but I don't want to correct things that are not broken. I mean, this was a easy 4-1 with a potential for a 5-0. So pretty impressive deck. Yeah, thank you very much for all of you, and especially Jace from the Moxforge, who lent me some cards to make the league possible, and for Celestial Heathen for the donation. And see you in the next one.